You're being told three big lies when it comes to educational freedom and school choice in America. First, you'll hear that school choice defunds public schools. But school choice doesn't defund public schools. If anything, public schools defund families. School choice initiatives just return the money to the hands of the rightful owners, or at least the intended beneficiaries of the funding, the students and their families. No one would ever say that allowing families to choose their grocery store steals money from Walmart or Safeway or Trader Joe's. No one would ever say that Pell Grants steal money from community colleges just because you could use the Pell Grant funding at a private religious university. School choice doesn't defund public schools. If anything, public schools defund themselves when they fail to meet the needs of families year after year. Just think about it. Ask the question yourself, why would giving families a choice defund the government schools? Well, it's essentially the other side telling on themselves. They understand that they're not confident in their product and their services, that they realize that thousands or even millions of families would flee whenever given the option to leave. That's an argument for school choice, not against it. People will also argue that school choice is unaccountable, but the reality is underperforming private schools shut down. Underperforming government schools get more money. Private schools are directly accountable to families. The only true form of accountability is bottom-up accountability, allowing families to vote with their feet to the education providers that work best for them. That gives incentives to schools from the public and the private sector to do a better job and to cater to the needs of families and students as opposed to the other way around. You'll also hear that school choice is a violation of the Establishment Clause and flies in the face of separation of church and state. Well, one, separation of church and state is not in the U.S. Constitution, but two, the school choice programs at the K-12 level do not violate the Establishment Clause for the same reason that Pell Grants at the higher education level do not violate the Establishment Clause. And the reason being is that the funding goes to the student, they're the primary beneficiary of the funding, and then they can choose between religious and non-religious providers, public or private, religious or non-religious. You can take your Pell Grant funding to Notre Dame, a religiously affiliated university, for example. Think about the federal Head Start programs as well at the K-12 level. The funding follows the decision of the family, and you can use that funding for a private, religiously affiliated provider of pre-K services. We have Supreme Court precedent on this as well. 2002 Supreme Court case, Zelman v. Simmons-Harris, also ruled based on the same logic that K-12 education funding following the student is not a violation of the Establishment Clause because the primary beneficiaries are the families and their students, and they have a choice in the matter, public, private, religious, or non-religious providers. For far too long, the only special interest groups in K-12 education were the employee unions, the teachers and superintendents unions. But now there's a new special interest group in town, parents, and they aren't going away anytime soon. Parents felt powerless in 2020, and they're going to fight to make sure they never feel powerless like that ever again.